No back-to-back free throws here. He missed the second. Russell. Steven Adams swats it.
Sent a message on that one, Ed.
To George. Strong finisher, Paul George. Feed the big fella. Point to the passer.
So good when you get everybody involved, in particular your bigs. You get them going, they'll run the court faster, and guess what? They'll set harder screens because they're actually in the game.
Russell here against Ferguson. Steven Adams, huge block.
That kid can block out the sun, man.
Deep right corner, George. Deep two there, won't go. Now pass taken away by the Thunder. Slam dunk.
It's easy to become mesmerized when you watch a player who can create off the dribble. We call that dancing. When you allow a player to dance with that much space, that's Prob City.
Driving right to the basket. Yes, D'Angelo Russell. 2 of 4 now.
Ooh, cool, calm, and collective. The 3 C's. His handles are effortless.
It's Russ at the controls. The crossover gets inside and the slam dunk.
It can only be one of 2 things here. 1, the defender ran out of gas. Or 2, this dude is just unstoppable.
Oh, he had it.
Just the thought of coming into the lane amongst the trees, that shot was altered before.
Stuffs it down with authority. They have set the tone in this one.
I love when I see offenses come out in beast mode. You attack that paint, you get to the rim, inevitably the floor will open up for you to knock down some threes.
Westbrook into the front court. His team on top by 8. Steven Adams with the slam.
I see the easy dunk, but what I don't see is energy. Scream, do something. Get yourself emotionally involved in the game.
Russell. Fires the 3. The rebound belongs to Oklahoma City. A pass stolen by the Nets. Knocked loose. Graham matched up with Ferguson. Perfect feed to set up the basket.
It's a strong finish. Regardless of contact, finishing strong is key.
Russell. Yes, D'Angelo Russell. 4 out of 7.
D'Lo reminds me so much of Sam Cassell. He's not the fastest guy, but he gets where he wants to go anytime. The word that is key for him, potential, potential, potential. Will he be able to accomplish his potential?
Russell into the front court. His guys currently down by 13. Just off the mark.
Woo! I like that intensity on that play. That's how you actually dig in the dirt and do your job on the defensive end.
Count the basket. 2 more points in the paint. The inner beast of Westbrook. Sheer determination.
I don't think anybody got the license plate on that hit and run. And there is no one, I repeat, no one in the game of basketball with the first step in the explosion of Russell Westbrook.
Russell with it up top. Down a bundle. 4-3. Those shots, Jay, have been few and far between in what has been an uneasy first quarter.
And Ed, sometimes that's all you need. Just get one or two to fall. Find the rhythm, find the rhyme. You got plenty of time.
For three, message received. Well defended.
And look, sometimes you don't have it going every single night. Maybe utilize yourself as a decoy and get some teammates involved with your passing.
Paul George, he's now 4 for 6. Nets have the basketball.
And last year, it seemed like PG really had a difficult time finding that next level elite PG. No doubt about it, this year, he needs to be playoff P all day, every day.
Yes, and the foul, and a chance at 3 coming up.
The offense has very little to lose on those type of plays if they know they can, number one, create contact, and number two, still get the ball up. You need to assert yourself fully on the defensive end by initiating the contact and not allowing the offensive player to get that ball above his waist.
Just inside the arc, at the buzzer. So we're through one at Chesapeake Energy Arena. The Thunder on top. Jay and I return. Ed Cohen, Jay Williams with you as we get things started here in the second quarter. Russell. Cashes in for 2.
That's what I'm talking about, Ed. It's that simple. Put the ball in the bucket.
Russell Westbrook powers it through. Jay, we're seeing more of the same to start the second.
It's called settle for more. Just because a defender gives you space doesn't mean that you need to take the jump shot. Keep attacking the rim. It will open up eventually.
Count the basket at the rim.
Clearly not afraid of the spotlight here because that was not an easy look.
Oklahoma City's got it. He connects. Not the guy you think would beat you.
Well, when you play for each other and not just for yourself, that's when great things happen. You essentially lose yourself in what the team is trying to accomplish. It's called unselfish basketball. And there's nothing more beautiful than rewarding your teammate with a nice pass and letting them finish for 2 or 3 points.
Russell Westbrook pins it.
Just erasing mistakes left and right.
The Nets have the rebound.
Right into it. Right into it.
Knocked loose. Wide open look won't go. To Paul George.
Cutter, I got yours.
Brooklyn with the basketball.
I got ball.
A drive, but he can't get it to go.
And this happens all the time in this league. Sometimes offensively, you're tired. It's one of those type of nights. You combine that with the fact that the defense is hungry and active and contesting everything, that's why shots aren't dropping.
The monster stuff.
Like my old coach used to say, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. It's way too easy. Just keep attacking. It's easy money.
Russell into the front court. His guys down big. It's good for 3.
And in today's game, you have to make shots like that. Nice work draining it from deep.
Westbrook with the basketball. Looking to make something happen. It goes down. You can try and body him up, but he'll still run right through you.
It's the way he attacks that makes him so dangerous. He chips off a piece of your body one possession at a time. First is your arm, then it's your leg, and then inevitably it's your soul.
And a bad pass as it's taken away by the Nets.
You go back to the principles, things that we started working on when we were in 1st and 2nd grade. It's called the shell drill. You stay down in the stance defensively, you try to deny the next pass away, and you have to communicate. If your conditioning is bad, you have no chance. But if you're able to do all these things together, collectively, you'll be able to stop a great passing team.
D'Angelo Russell had made his first couple, but he misses there. to Westbrook. Trying to cash in. It's no good. Great defense.
The contest was good, but you being a nuisance was great. Continue to be that gnat that no matter how many times you swing at it, it never goes away.
I got ball.
The drive by Westbrook, but a shot stays out. Carroll matched up with Patrick Patterson. From the painted area, won't go down. Add 2 points to the board.
No doubt about where that one was headed.
Russ at the controls.
Let's go. Pick him up.
Out of bounds. Last touch by Russell Westbrook. And they call the foul. Jay, he was there too late.
Great job, Ed, by the shooter to create contact after the jump. That's how you get to the free throw line.
Misses the first. No good. Missed them both.
Here we go. My ball. Here we go. I got him.
And finishes strong. He was ready right at the tip.
What a first half he's having. He came out of the gate, attacked, found ways to get to the rim. Now look how easy the game is coming to him.
Tough-looking shot there. Still gets it to go down.
Strong finish. That's what you need, regardless of contact, focusing on the rim.
Deep left corner. Russell. That's off the side of the rim, short.
And there's always so much talk about defense. How about offensively? If you continue to attack that shooter, now you're making him work on the defensive end. That makes him take his legs away. On the offensive end.
2 minutes left in the second.
Russell with it up top. He'll run the offense. Took it down the lane, but it's no good.
That's superb defense. That's a defense getting there from the weak side early and making the player short arm a shot.
Goes reverse to lay it in.
Well, they have such great flow to their offense this evening. The ball isn't sticking to one player individually. It's moving around the perimeter, and it's zipping. They're playing with a special cohesiveness.
Nice pass to get things going.
So many times you can tell if a player is going to finish before he even gets to the rim. Did you see that look on his face? That was a look of a three-point play. You always going in thinking you can get more at the rim.
Going to launch beyond the arc. Buries it on the catch and shoot.
The eyes of the shooter say everything. His eyes pretty much said, "Are you sure you want to give me the ball here?"
Patrick Patterson tips it.
That's why a rim protector is a necessity in this game.
To Adams. Russell Westbrook steps into it. And a putback slam.
And I got a chance to hear a lot of the conversation at the bench. And one of the things they called out was owning the backboards. Looks like the message is really getting through.
Russell matched up with Patrick Patterson. To George. DeMar knocked it away.
Oh, some fans should take that ball home as a gift.
That's a souvenir.
This game is all about playing mind tricks on people. The offense is more worried about getting their shot blocked than they are about actually making the shot.
Gets it in the right corner. Lets it fly from long range. Buries the three.
Ed, let me tell you how this one goes. It ain't no fun if the homies can't have some. Everyone's getting a piece of the rock tonight.
Layup's good. That's as high percentage as it gets. Jay, when you break down Paul George, where is he at his best?
He needs to be engaged. He needs to have the ball in his hands. He needs to be needed. And that's the biggest thing for Paul George. When he's the guy offensively and he makes those clutch shots, it re-engages him defensively. And that drives him to be the best version of Paul George there is.
And he connects on the first free throw. Goes 2 for 2 at the line.
I like that one.
Westbrook across the timeline. His guys hold a commanding lead. And counted at the rim.
This type of game needs to be celebrated. This is the type of culture that is fostered when you play with unselfish players. When you give up a little bit of yourself and you make your teammate look great, that's the difference between winning and losing. So when you see these guys smiling, when you see them giving each other high fives, that's because of the energy that was created from the pass. Pass is one of the most brilliant things we have in this game.
Just inside the arc, at the buzzer. A very one-sided first half of basketball as we are at halftime. Let's get you to our NBA Live studios in Orlando and hand it over to Jalen Rose for our EA Sports halftime report. Jalen.
The Thunder entered the locker room at halftime with a significant lead. All right, back to the second half. I'll see you after the game.
Right down Broadway for the two. Defender has to pick him up.
Did you see the way that dribble freed him up? It created so much space. I did, but the defender didn't.
The cross. Over, gets inside, and the slam dunk.
This is why I go back into player mode. If a dude starts to try to have 40 points on me, I'm going to foul out. I'm going to start hitting him in places he's not used to being hit. I'm trying to do anything to throw him off his game.
Fires the three. It's no good. Shot's not going down. Shot from the lane won't go. Count the bucket for two.
Hand down, man down. You got to get up and contest the shot.
Westbrook into the front court. His guys lead here early stages, third quarter. Russell Westbrook rocking the rim.
It's almost like he had the defender on a string, and he's the puppet master.
Hollis Jefferson scores in the painted area.
I don't know if a body on him would have prevented that bucket, but it at least would have let him know that you were there.
Ferguson to Westbrook. Beyond the arc for three. Steps out and hits.
I mean, does he have eyes in the back of his head or what? I get paid money to watch and study this game daily. Even I didn't see that angle.
Thunder with the basketball. Doesn't have the touch. No good. George, offensive board to Paul George. Lets it fly from beyond the arc, and Paul George good on the quick release there.
Just let me break down to all the young players at home how special of a pass this was. That was a perfect delivery, and it hit the player right in the chest.
Westbrook with it. His guys holding the big lead.
Oh, he sent that one to the third row.
He was locked in. That was impressive. Gets a look. Can't hit.
Psychological warfare by the defense. I see they baited him into that shot. They'll give him that all night long.
Terrence Ferguson scores him in close.
That transition offense was flawless when guys fan out and actually fill the lanes with a sense of urgency. You heard me correctly, a sense of urgency. You will get a great shot every possession.
Ferguson. Deep two there, won't go. Count the basket inside.
The one thing we know for certain in this league, it doesn't matter how big the margin is, you can always put together a run and get back in this one.
Ferguson to Westbrook. Stuffs it down with authority.
You know, Ed, I'm down with guys having 35, 40, maybe 50 points in the game. But the one thing you look for in a defensive end, when there's a huddle after a guy has dropped multiple buckets on you in a row, and everybody's quiet, nobody stands up and says, yo, I got him, I'm going to stop him, you're in a worrisome place for your team.
And he finishes at the rim. Russell against the former MVP from long range, and Patterson grabs the rebound. Ferguson slams it down.
I know there's that old saying that says one man can't beat five, but we're watching one man carry four other players. His back has to be hurting. Another big-time finish.
Count it. Three-pointer is good.
Great shot by the offense. But the defense, you can't afford to collapse off that penetration. I'd rather a team take a tough two than a wide-open three.
Drills the three.
And if you're on D right now, if you're off on the weak side, stunt towards the driver. That means fake at him. Don't overcommit. Stunt, then get back to your stay at home. Force him to make one of those passes or force him to take a crazy shot at the rim.
And Paul George, not sure why they left him that wide open. Takes advantage.
They're shooting the ball well, but let me tell you why. They're already ready to shoot before they even catch the ball. Look at their hands. Their hands are ready, providing a target. So when they catch that ball, they go right into their shot. We call that being shot ready.
Backcourt. D'Angelo Russell. He's not shy about shooting it from out there, but he misses this time.
I'm here.
George to Westbrook. Almost unlucky bounce. Cleans it up to Hollis Jefferson. Nice pass to set things up.
And the defense keeps sticking to those flare screens. Just don't flare out to the three-point line. Flare to the rim for a lob.
Oklahoma City ball. Jared Allen with the block. That's his third block this evening.
Blocking so many shots only gives your perimeter that much more confidence to really apply more pressure.
And stuffs it home.
The pass was really good, but what I love most about the play, Ed, was that every player that ran in transition had active hands, which means they were active targets. They provided a target for the player to deliver the pass. That's how you work together as teammates.
Oh, too much contact. Free throws on the way.
Just because a team's winning doesn't mean the refs are going to put away the whistle. Play right all the way through.
Jared Allen at the line for two shots. He struggled so far. And hits the first free throw. Goes 2 for 2. Westbrook into the front court. Shot clock turned off as they try to extend the lead. To the rim, lays it up and in.
Well, the shooting has been spectacular, but one of the things that I've seen as a difference maker in this ball game is how they are catching the basketball. They're not establishing a pivot foot, which leaves the defense wondering which way you can drive, but when that shot is working like that, you got it any way you want it.
That ends the third quarter, and a nice cushion for the Thunder. The Thunder have it to start the fourth quarter. You figured they certainly had the advantage coming into this one. Jay, that's how it's played out.
On paper, this wasn't set up to be much of a contest. If the crowd could have gotten into it early, maybe. But sometimes a team is so good that you never had a chance to even start.
It's Brooklyn's ball. Russell. Offensive board. Patrick Patterson rejects it.
You know why? I don't see anybody on the defensive end standing up out of position. I see everybody squatted down, really active with their hands. That's the mentality that will lead you to where you want to go.
Number 17, Ed Davis.
Now a drive, but the shot won't fall. Has a look. Patterson a shot. No. To Adams. Kicks it around the perimeter. George. Great defense, forcing the miss. Hollis Jefferson here against Ferguson. To Allen Crabbe. Good look that time, but off the mark. Paul George.
I got him. Here we go.
Could not throw it down. To George. Has a chance. Shot by Adams. Off iron. No. A pass stolen by the Nets.
Tonight, it may not cost you, but in a playoff game, it will.
And the finish at the rim.
And ISO basketball is becoming a thing of the past. Team basketball is back. And if you have that personnel with the versatility plus the mindset, game over.
Converts in the paint. Nice finish at the rim.
Sometimes when the players find that flow, nobody else needs to touch the ball. He's in the zone by himself.
Tough-looking shot there. Still gets it to go down.
Strong finish. That's what you need, regardless of contact, focusing on the rim.
To Westbrook. Rebounded by Russell. To Davis. Count the basket, and it could have been more. No whistle.
I'm not sure that wasn't an offensive foul, but take it when you can get it.
Here's Westbrook controlling the offense. And the reward, he's going to the line.
Ed and I want to go home too, but fouls like that only stop the clock for all of us.
Russell Westbrook, couple of free throws on the way. Shooting 50%, some yes, some no in this contest. Good free throw shooting. Knocks down a pair. Russell picked up by Westbrook. Here's a chance from long range. Shakes free and hits.
You know, from a point guard perspective, one of the things that I learned when I played in the league was that the more I was willing to give the ball up, the harder other players would run to their spots. The harder the bigs were running to the rim, the harder the three-point shooters were running to the three-point line because they knew they could be active recipients. And when they caught the ball, they knew exactly what to do with it.
Tough shot. No good for Allen Crabbe.
And look, sometimes you don't have it going every single night. Maybe utilize yourself as a decoy and get some teammates involved with your passing.
Brooklyn's got it. D'Angelo Russell. Missed it.
And big-time coaching strategy by the staff right there, utilizing their bench, keeping fresh legs on that shooter consistently throughout the course of the game.
Carroll against Paul George. And that's rebounded by the Thunder. And finishes strong.
You know, it reminds me out of a story a legendary coach once told me. He said, if you ever get in a fight, you're not going to hit somebody with an open hand, correct? You'll probably break a finger. But if you hit somebody with a fist, what is that? That's 5 fingers working collectively together as one. That's how you deliver a knockout punch, and that's what we're seeing tonight.
Ferguson to Paul George. Nets have it. Russell fires the three, and the rebound taken in by George.
And you knew this game had a chance to get out of hand pretty quickly because of the communication. When these guys stepped on the court, Ed, they were yapping back and forth to each other. And that kind of communication, that kind of collective responsibility to one another, you feel that on the court. That's why this team is special.
Steven Adams with the slam. At this point, if it continues, it just may be good night, Irene.
And ooh, I like that Irene line.
There you go, Jay.
And sometimes as a player on the defensive end, Ed, you need to draw a line in the sand. You have to find a way to change the narrative because right now the constant theme has been too many easy buckets.
Jay, don't deny it. You're an old soul at heart.
Yeah, I still don't know who Irene is.
Me neither. Westbrook's shot won't go on the drive.
After a miss like that, you at least have to rub your hands on your shorts, at least make it seem like the ball slipped.
Nice finish at the rim.
There are certain guys in this league that should be put on alert status 24/7 because either they're posterizing you or that attempt can still be a poster.
Russell. 4-3. Oh, that's how it's done.
It's easy to get lost in the chaos of the game down the stretch, but great awareness by the shooter to get those toes right behind the three-point line.
Now Adams down low. He throws it down.
This type of game needs to be celebrated. This is the type of culture that is fostered when you play with unselfish players. When you give up a little bit of yourself and you make your teammate look great, that's the difference between winning and losing. So when you see these guys smiling, when you see them giving each other high fives, that's because of the energy that was created from the pass. Pass is one of the most brilliant things we have in this game.
For three. Second effort to George. Westbrook. Not going down here. Russell into the front court. His guys down big. Out of bounds the call. Last touch by D'Angelo Russell. George on the drive, but his shot misses. To Allen Crabbe. Trying to cash in. Add 2 points to the board.
2 points. Take them any way you can get them.
To Westbrook. The pass set it all up.
You know, from a point guard perspective, one of the things that I learned when I played in the league was that the more I was willing to give the ball up, the harder other players were willing to run to their spots. The harder the bigs were running to the rim. The harder the three-point shooters were running to the three-point line because they knew they could be active recipients. And when they caught the ball, they knew exactly what to do with it.
Going to launch beyond the arc. Not done yet. Works it. Has a look. Carroll shot no good.
The most important thing a shooter can do is continue to shoot. The defense is always going to give great effort, but it's more of your psyche that goes into the next shot that will limit you on whether you make the shot or not.
I don't know, Jay. They have a big lead. This game is just about over. You might not make many friends on the other side with that three.
Oh, I don't want to hear that generic coaching speak about dwindle down the shot clock, use the clock is your friend. No, if you have a chance to beat them by 50, beat them by 50. If you want to beat them by 100, keep shooting more threes.
Good victory here for the Thunder as they win this one in very convincing fashion. That'll wrap things up. For Jay Williams and